Did you know that English has two L sounds? A light L and a dark L. Hello and welcome back to Pronunciation with Emma, or welcome if you're brand new to my channel. In today's English pronunciation lesson, you're going to learn how to pronounce the L sound in English and learn what the difference is between the light L and the dark L. You will also learn the rules for the light and dark L sounds and when to pronounce them. You will also compare the dark L with the W sound at the end and middle of words, as that's a common problem that many English learners have. So if you pronounce words like milk and fell as milk and fell, I'll be talking about that today. At the end of this video, there will be some listening and repeating exercises to help you practice and improve your English pronunciation of these sounds. If you'd like more resources to help you improve your English pronunciation, then download my free English pronunciation pack. It contains a story, downloadable PDFs, audio files, and 10 of my best English pronunciation lessons. It's completely free, and if you want to download it, the link is down below in the description. Are you ready to start the lesson now? Let's go! Let's start with the first question. What are the two L sounds in English? English has a light L and a dark L. The light L appears before a vowel sound or when it's between two vowel sounds. For example, like, love, and alive. The dark L appears after a vowel sound, so it's usually used at the end of words or when there's a consonant sound after it. For example, fell, people, and milk. Now let's look at how to pronounce the L sound in English. To pronounce the light L, make sure the tip of your tongue comes up and is just behind your top teeth. Then you release the sound. La, la, light, light. The light is very bright. The light is very bright. Love, love. I love reading. I love reading. Leave, leave. I need to leave. I need to leave. Look, look. Look at the beautiful scenery. Look at the beautiful scenery. Now let's learn how to pronounce the dark L in English. There are different ways that you may hear the dark L being pronounced, and this depends on accent and how fast the person is speaking. What I'm going to teach you today is how I usually say it. Now, I'm not saying that my way is the only correct way. What I'm showing you is just my way of saying it. So if you like that, then copy. Now, to pronounce the dark L, you take the tip of your tongue here and you put it up at the top of your mouth behind your top teeth. Exactly what we did with the light L. So you have something like oh. Now, you need to also raise the back of your tongue. So your tongue should be in a kind of C shape, like this. Oh, oh. And notice how the sound changes. When it's like the light L and the back of the tongue is down and it's more relaxed, it sounds like oh. But when we raise it, it becomes oh. And that's the dark L. Keep in mind that some native speakers just use the back of their tongue. So a word like fill, fill, sounds like fill, fill. Both are fine. I just personally find it more comfortable to use the front of my tongue as well. So it's a personal preference. Now, I'd like you to say the word full. Full. So the back of your tongue comes up and the front of your tongue is touching just behind your teeth. Full. The key thing is that you're not releasing the tongue. So if you say fuller, fuller, then it sounds like the comparative fuller. Yeah, this is more full, fuller. So really, really watch it. Make sure you're not releasing. If you release it, then that is the light L. The dark L is held. Full, full. Let's practice in some words and sentences. So taking the word we've just looked at, full. The cup is full. The cup is full. So make sure you're not releasing it. The cup is fuller then that becomes the light L. With the dark L, you hold it. The cup is full. Ball, ball. He kicked the ball. He kicked the ball. Cold, cold. This one's a little bit trickier because you have that D coming after. So you're not going to release this as cold. We're not going to turn it into a light L. You keep your tongue up at the top of your mouth and then you release it as a D. So it looks like cold, cold. It's cold outside. It's cold outside. Tell, tell. Please tell me the truth. Please tell me the truth. One interesting thing that happens to the dark L is that it can change to a light L sound when the next word starts with another vowel sound. If I say the cup is full, then I use the dark L. But if I say the cup is full of water, notice that I release it. It changes into a light L, and that's because the next word starts with a vowel sound. So we change it to a light L to make it easier to transition to the next word. Full of water. The same happens to he kicked the ball. He kicked the ball. We hold it because it's the dark L. But in the sentence, he kicked the ball across the field. He kicked the ball across the field. Now it becomes a light L because the next word starts with a vowel sound. Now, a common problem that English learners have with the dark L is that they sometimes pronounce it as a W sound. Some English accents actually do have this feature naturally within them, especially Cockney. So they'll say, for example, milk instead of milk and fell instead of fell. So if you like that part of your accent or you want to sound a little bit Cockney, then keep that. But if you don't want that, then keep on watching as I'm going to compare the dark L to the W sound at the end of words. In English, we don't have any words that end with a W sound. What we do have though are words which end with the letter W. For example, few, cow, saw and know. So pronouncing words with a W sound at the end could potentially cause some confusion. So let's practice. I'm going to give you some words which contain a dark L. I will pronounce the word with the W and with the dark L so you can hear and compare the difference. I will then read out some sentences and you can practice your pronunciation by listening and repeating after me. Fill, fill, fill. Fill. So notice when I say it with that W, my mouth is moving. With the dark L, the lips don't move, it's just the tongue. Fill the cup with water. Fill the cup with water. Next we have gold. We're going to do the same thing we did with cold. We're going to raise our tongue up, do the dark L and release it as a D. Gold, gold. Compare it with that W. Gold. Notice that I move my lips more when I say it with the W. So just the dark L. Gold. She has a gold necklace. She has a gold necklace. Pull. Pull. And with the W, pull. Pull. So really watch that you're not moving your mouth, your lips, when you're trying to do the dark L. The movement is all in the tongue, not in the mouth. Pull. Can you pull the door open? Can you pull the door open? So the key takeaway here is that when you do the W sound, you're moving your lips. But when you do the dark L, you don't move the lips, you only move the tongue. Now it's time for some listening and repeating practice. I will read some sentences which contain the light L and the dark L. All you need to do is listen and repeat. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time, or if you want to listen to it at a slower speed, you can change the video settings down below. The room is so light. The room is so light. They love going for walks. They love going for walks. When you leave, please close the door. When you leave, please close the door. I like learning languages. I like learning languages. Now for the dark L. Again, listen and repeat. Be careful that you're not saying it as a w, so you're not moving your lips. Did you drink the whole bottle of milk? Did you drink the whole bottle of milk? The ball fell into the pool. The ball fell into the pool. So notice with fell is going to change now to a light L because we have fell into. We have a vowel coming after. It's cold today. It's cold today. So we're just going to cut the D here in cold and move straight to the T in today. It's cold today. I will send an email to the school. I will send an email to the school. And that's the end of today's English pronunciation lesson on how to pronounce the L sound in English. Remember that your pronunciation pack is waiting for you to download. It's completely free and the link to download it is in the description. If you have enjoyed this video and learnt something new, then please give this video a like. It helps out my channel so much. And if you want free weekly pronunciation lessons from me, then why not hit the subscribe button as well. If you've made it this far in the video, then I'd like you to leave a comment with your favourite dessert. My favourite dessert is cheesecake. I love cheesecake. Comment below and tell me your favourite dessert as well. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye bye!